Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Bilco number SD709-2SS. This is a stainless steel handle assembly for a 2-point lock variant, and this model is... There is a technical data sheet below this video that will allow you to review the particulars as published from the factory about the 2SS. So, as we look at the SD709-2SS in that technical drawing, the first thing you need to know is that this is stainless steel or non-ferrous base components. This is going to be used with non-ferrous roof hatches. So if you're dealing with a roof hatch that is like an aluminum lid or something non-ferrous, and this would be how you would determine if it's ferrous or not. If it's non-ferrous, you're definitely looking at the right item. What will then help determine if this is the correct unit, it would be considered your dimension A or the shaft length. Now a 2-point lock, that's going to be a reference to a hatch that's going to have latches on the outside. So be mindful that they make these SD709 series for different applications. Single point, 2-point locks, they have them for standard covers and then thicker covers. And this video is to primarily serve as visual and dimensional evidence of this item to help you determine if it's correct. So since we've already talked about it being non-ferrous, the next thing that will define this, of course, is the shaft length. This shaft, this key stock, and we'll measure that, it's about 5/16, goes all the way back into the handle to about here. So they're saying 4 15/16 is the shaft length on this. So if I estimate where it's coming to, I'm going to get right to about 5 inch. Okay? So that would be a determining factor whether or not that is correct. So if you have one, you can take a look and see what the shaft length is. Otherwise, you can get to dimension A, which is 3 11/16, as shown on that link to the cut sheet. And if we stand that up there, yeah, we're pretty close to 3 11/16. The handle is a little bit seated down too far. It should be pulled up about 3/16. And if it was, because that roll pin is going to get driven through that hole in the spindle in the key stock, it would indeed be 3 11/16. So those are the two reasons, the two criteria by which you'll determine. Is it made of stainless or non-ferrous? And what's the shaft length? The problem is I can't tell you what model of units this came off of because they don't publish that data. The video in its purpose is to help eliminate the guesswork. The guesswork being which one do I need? And that's the point. The other way that you could certainly do that would be to send us photographs of the unit, and what would be the sure way of getting the proper item for your unit is the serial number. If there's a serial number on the sidewall, it's not if it will help. It will absolutely, without question, determine the bill of materials that was used when the unit was built, allowing us to know exactly the part that you would need for every aspect of the roof hatch. So if you have that, send that to us as well. Otherwise, there's a little bit of guesswork, and all we want to do is utterly eliminate it. So this will be your exterior side, obviously. You're going to be able to padlock that closed. There will be a couple of screws in there, and if you take note, that's a thin head screw, and then you've got a thicker head screw that's here. The head on that is thicker. You'll need that thin head screw to go underneath this area where that needs to pivot and swivel. You can use the standard bolt over on the other end. Okay, and those bolts are, again, here with their 2 washers. Now that link to the technical drawing is helpful because it will show you all of the possible versions of this. There is another unit that's not on here, and it will have a insulated rubber-coated handle. If you have that unit, you'll need a different item altogether, so reach out to us and we'll help you determine what's necessary. If you have a 2-point lock, this is very likely the item that you need. So I'm guessing if you're looking at this item, you probably have an insulated, you have an uninsulated cover with a 2-point lock, would be what I would think. An uninsulated cover is generally about a cover that's 1 inch thick. Now, people will say, I can't really measure how thick my lid is, I just don't know. Right. But sometimes you can kind of tell if it's insulated or not, because an insulated lid will be 2-inch thick. It'll be clearly thicker. But however, at the end of the day, it's what's the length of that shaft. I told you we would measure that just for the sake of measuring it. .311 by .311. That's the thickness of that. So basically 5/16 in the thickness or the dimension of the shaft. Okay. Finally, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Bilco products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Bilco, their part number SD709-2SS, handle assembly, or any other Bilco product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.